What is happening, guys? It's your boy TC back with another video. So it looks like it's at the end of an era in regards to the Koscielny situation. As you can see from the title itself, it looks like the club captain is heading for the exit door. So we know his contract was due to come to an end at the end of next season in 2021. Some broken promises made along the way, and he's decided to pack his bags and leave the club. So of course we will be talking about this in this video. So the news broke yesterday late evening from Get French Football News, and they basically broke the news that a deal had been reached and a deal had been agreed between Arsenal and Bordeaux for about 5 million euros, which again, not too much, but of course that's what you expect for a player of that age and someone who's got a year left on their contract. I believe 5 million euros is a fair fee, of course. So we know that Koscielny joined us back in 2010, in the summer of 2010, an Arsene Wenger purchase, a typical Arsene Wenger signing, if you want to call it that. But of course, he did serve us well during that time he was with us. Let's not take anything away from that. He was a great servant, stuck by the club really when things weren't particularly well. It could have gone elsewhere when he was at the peak of his powers, of course, but stuck with Arsenal, saw us through that horrendous period, suffered a horrific injury last season as well, which obviously meant that he missed the World Cup. He would have been part of that World Cup squad. Maybe the scenario or the situation would have been slightly a little bit different if he had won the World Cup, but he decided to stick with the club, as I was saying, and it may certainly be time at an end of an era really where he's decided that the time's up, he wants to move on, and he has certainly decided he will be moving on and the time's up in North London. So of course I made a few notes really in regards to this whole situation, and I wanted to share my thoughts in regards to this whole situation with you guys. So the first point that I made really is, first of all, we need to consider the fact that of course you play for a club, you're employed by a football club. However, this is a team sport, and people or individuals tend to have their loyalties with a certain individual within that particular team sport. So in relation to Arsenal, I believe Laurent Koscielny's loyalties lied with Arsene Wenger as one, his French compatriot, 2, as the manager that brought him into the club, 3, as the manager that handed him the captaincy at the club as well. So I do believe that he has no responsibility to be loyal to Unai Emery whatsoever. Maybe that's his point of view in terms of how he's looking at things at the moment. Secondly, is he homesick? Reports had been suggesting since this whole fiasco erupted at the start of the pre-season tour that he was interested in only returning to France. I'm sure he could have got an offer to go to somewhere like China. He could have possibly received an offer from the Middle East. A lot of the clubs over there tend to pay really, really well for aging players, but he didn't opt for that particular option. He's decided to go back to France. Is he homesick? Maybe. That could be another reason that he wants to leave the club. The third reason here really would be, according to reports that were surfacing at the start of the pre-season, when we discovered that there was something wrong between Koscielny and the club, was that there were broken promises made, which were he would have received 1, a contract extension from the club since he had 1 more year left on his existing contract. 2, he had been promised Champions League football as well by the club, and there was some sort of stipulation involved with that whole situation, which to my understanding was, if we don't qualify for the Champions League, he will be free to leave. So there may be a number of broken promises that were certainly put forward to Laurent Koscielny, or promises that weren't fulfilled. We don't know. Of course, we're all outsiders. We don't have inside information on what exactly went wrong with this whole situation. He may also have fallen out with Unai Emery. We don't know. That's the key point I'm trying to make. We're all outsiders. We observe from the outside, and obviously we voice our own opinions. So we don't know really. Another point that I wanted to make in regards to this whole situation is, where does this leave us with our centre-back situation? Because as it stands, without any new additions, of course the club has been linked with Upamecano from RB Leipzig. So of course, if this move doesn't materialise, or if we go into the season with the current centre-backs that we currently have in the squad, we'll be in dire trouble. So it leaves us possibly having a partnership of Socrates and Callum Chambers in the opening day of the Premier League, which is not a good thought, of course, to actually start thinking about that now. Of course, the season is not far ahead in terms of the kick-off. The transfer window hasn't got long left. in terms of it being open, so it leaves us in a very, very poor situation in regards to our centre-back situation. Hopefully the club are working extremely hard to get this resolved, but doesn't obviously improve the situation. Now, a positive to take away from all of this really would be that we will be getting some money back, recouping 5 million euros, which is roughly about maybe £3-4 million at the most, but that is money that can be used towards transfers or to recoup whatever we've spent throughout the whole summer. We have spent heavily, so it's obviously welcome income or stream of revenue coming back in. There are reports as well that Carl Jenkinson is on the verge of leaving the club as well for reported fee of about £5 million as well, so of course that's money coming back in. However, in regards to this whole Laurent Koscielny situation, it's a very, very bitter pill to swallow, but of course we need to look at all angles in terms of how the situation could have played out. I reiterate, we're just outsiders, I'm an outsider, and essentially what I do is just voice my own opinion. But as usual guys, please do let me know what you think in the comments below. If you're watching this video and you're not subscribed to the channel, please do make sure that you do hit that subscribe button. So once again guys, it's your boy TC from I'm Gonna Talk TV, and I'm out.